Experiencing your twin flame in a relationship with someone else can be one of the most heart-wrenching challenges on the spiritual journey. As you scroll through social media at midnight, seeing them share moments with another person, the question burns in your soul. How can they possibly be with someone else if they truly love me? This painful situation, often called a third-party dynamic, isn't just common in twin flame journeys. It's surprisingly frequent and serves a profound purpose in your spiritual development. When your divine counterpart chooses another partner despite the intense soul connection you share, it triggers core wounds that require healing before true union can manifest. As one spiritual teacher explains, third-party situations are always temporary because they have no real grounds to exist and build upon, not when compared to the unstoppable fortress of love that is harmonious twin flame union. This perspective doesn't diminish your pain, but it offers a framework for understanding that what you're experiencing is part of a larger divine plan. In this reading, we'll explore the deeper spiritual mechanics behind this challenging dynamic and offer practical guidance for navigating it with grace, wisdom, and self-love. The path forward may not be what your ego desires, but it leads to something far more profound than mere romantic fulfillment. It leads to spiritual awakening and the discovery of unconditional love. You know that moment when you're absolutely furious with your twin flame for choosing someone else, when you're lying awake at 3 a.m., scrolling through their social media, wondering how they could possibly love you and still be with another person. Here's the kicker. They're actually showing you something profound about yourself. The mirror principle is perhaps the most fascinating and maddening aspect of the twin flame journey. It's not just some fluffy spiritual concept. It's the raw, unfiltered reflection of your own consciousness staring back at you through another human being. And honestly, it's a wild ride. I'm upset because my twin flame ignores my needs, you might think. But the mirror exercise invites you to flip that statement. I ignore my own needs. Ouch, right? That hit home for me too when I first encountered it. The truth often does. Let me explain this more deeply. Your twin flame isn't just some random person you've fallen madly in love with. According to this spiritual understanding, they share the same soul blueprint as you. You're essentially two expressions of the same divine energy. So, when your twin flame chooses someone else, despite your profound connection, they're not actually rejecting you. They're manifesting an aspect of your own consciousness that needs healing. Perhaps you've been abandoning yourself in some way. Maybe you've been putting everyone else's needs before your own. Or perhaps you don't believe you're worthy of the love you're seeking. You might be thinking, that's ridiculous. I would never choose someone else over my twin flame. But are you sure about that? Have you truly chosen yourself completely and unconditionally? Or do you still harbor those little voices of doubt, unworthiness, and fear? The mirror principle isn't about blame. It's not saying, it's your fault your twin flame is with someone else. Rather, it's illuminating the path to healing. As one coach explained, we are literally running away from ourselves, but it all happens internally. They don't run away, we push them away. And you know what? This understanding is actually empowering as hell. Because if your external reality is reflecting your internal state, then changing your internal state will inevitably shift your external reality. You're not at the mercy of your twin flame's choices. You're at the helm of your own healing journey. The mirror exercise consists of 4 deceptively simple steps. First, identify what's upsetting you about your twin flame situation. Be honest and specific. Second, recognize that this external situation is reflecting something internal. This is where the magic begins. Third, connect with the upset feeling within yourself. Where does it live in your body? What memories does it trigger? What part of you feels abandoned, rejected, or unloved? Fourth, and this is the transformative part, give that wounded part of yourself exactly what it needs. If it needs reassurance, reassure it. If it needs compassion, be compassionate. If it needs to be seen and heard, see and hear it. This isn't just some spiritual bypassing technique to make you feel better about a painful situation. It's deep, transformative inner work. And yes, it can be excruciating. As one twin flame experiencer shared, you will go into a dark night of the soul, which is a painful agony from being separated. You will scream at God. You will feel like crying on the floor for days, and you will feel like you are going mad. But here's the beautiful paradox. By facing this darkness within yourself, by embracing the shadows that your twin flame is reflecting back to you, you actually transmute that darkness into light. You become more whole, more integrated, more authentically yourself. And guess what happens then? Your twin flame, who shares your soul essence, begins to mirror that wholeness back to you. The reflection changes because you've changed. Is this guaranteed to bring your twin flame running back to you, leaving their current partner in the dust? No, and that's not even the point. The point is your healing, your wholeness, your return to love. Union with your twin flame may be a beautiful byproduct of that healing, but it's not the goal. As the wise folks, to really fix the outside, go within. Like a mythical hero accepting a quest, you're being called to venture into the darkness of your own psyche, confront the fears and monsters of your mind, and emerge transformed. And honestly, that's the real love story, the one between you and yourself. Everything else is just a reflection. Ever had that moment when you're scrolling through social media at midnight and suddenly there it is, your twin flame looking absolutely blissful with someone else, their arms wrapped around another person, both smiling like they've discovered the secret to eternal happiness. And there you are, in your pajamas, clutching your phone with one hand and your breaking heart with the other, wondering how something that felt so cosmically ordained could lead to this. I get it. I've been there too, staring at those pictures until my eyes burned, convinced that what I was seeing was the ultimate truth. But what if that third-party situation isn't actually what it appears to be? What if it's more like a hologram, a necessary illusion on your twin flame journey? When we talk about third-party situations and twin flame dynamics, we're really talking about something much deeper than conventional relationship jealousy. This isn't just about your crush dating someone else. It's about a profound spiritual mechanism designed to trigger your deepest healing. You know what's funny? We spend so much time worrying about our twin flame's third-party relationship when, in reality, we are the third party to ourselves. Let me explain before you think I've completely lost it. When you're obsessing over your twin flame's relationship status, you're actually creating a triangulation between you, your twin flame, and your own fear. You've invited fear to be the unwelcome guest in what should be a divine union. The truth is, what appears as a third-party situation is actually a manifestation of separation consciousness within yourself. Your twin flame isn't just your romantic partner. They're your ultimate mirror, teacher, and divine counterpart. When they place someone else in the position that feels meant for you, it creates discomfort because it contradicts the divine order of your connection. But here's where it gets interesting. This third party isn't limited to romantic partners. It can be anything your twin flame prioritizes above the union. Family obligations, career ambitions, substance dependencies, or deeply ingrained fear patterns. As one seeker wisely noted, a lot of twin flame chasers talk about that the relationship their runners enter after meeting them is with soulmate connection. These are usually not relationships that last forever, because if a person has entered a twin flame journey, they do not seek the consistency of a soulmate, because their soul is forever going to seek the lessons and deeper self-awareness their twin flame brings. One of my favorite analogies comes from a twin flame coach who described the third-party situation as a dying plant. Think about it. When you have a plant that's withering away, what happens if you obsessively water it, check on it every 5 minutes, and frantically research plant revival techniques? Usually, you end up drowning it with too much attention. Sometimes the best thing you can do is simply stop giving it energy. The same applies to your twin flame's third-party situation. The more you focus on it, analyze it, stalk their social media, and feed it with your fear and anxiety, the more you actually strengthen that very situation. Energy flows where attention goes. It's not just a cute spiritual saying, it's practically quantum physics. Instead, imagine yourself gently turning away from that dying plant, not in denial, not in anger, but with the quiet confidence that what isn't meant to flourish will naturally fade away. As you redirect your energy toward your own growth and healing, you create space for divine timing to operate. Let's get real for a moment about what's actually happening when your twin flame is with someone else. From the outside, it might look like they're living their best life, posting couple selfies and building a future with this other person. But the spiritual truth often tells a different story. Many divine masculines, though this applies to any twin flame, regardless of gender, enter third-party relationships for reasons that have nothing to do with true fulfillment. At first, the divine masculine may have felt safe in the third-party karmic relationship, feeling that there is no risk really in staying together. Maybe they had been friends for many years, and maybe they have a home together and they stay together because it's about comfort and safety. It's about the known. Sound familiar? How many times have you chosen the comfortable option over the transformative one? I'm raising my hand here too. We've all done it. Other common reasons include fear, the too good to be true syndrome, and the heartbreaking belief that they're not good enough for their true twin flame. Your counterpart might believe he is not good enough for you too. Maybe he believes he can't give you what you desire, and so he thinks, yeah, I'm not good enough. So I'll stay with this person who makes me feel, at least a little bit, that I'm good enough. And you know what? That's exactly what you might be doing to yourself too. Settling for less because you don't believe you deserve the full magnificence of divine union. Here's where we need to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. These third-party relationships aren't random obstacles thrown in your path to make you miserable. Though I know it can absolutely feel that way when you're crying in your car to Adele songs. They serve a profound purpose in the twin flame journey. These relationships are like spiritual boot camps designed to prepare both twins for the intensity of divine union. Think about it. If you struggle with jealousy, abandonment fears, or worthiness issues, wouldn't those need to be healed before you could sustain the powerful energy of a twin flame union? The universe is actually doing you a favor by bringing these wounds to the surface where they can be healed, rather than letting them fester beneath the surface of your relationship. Here's something that might blow your mind a little. When twin flames create a union, a third energy emerges. This isn't just poetic language, it's an energetic reality. This third energy is what you're actually here to create together. A force that contributes to lifting the collective consciousness, healing the planet, and embodying divine love in human form. Pretty heavy stuff, right? No wonder the universe ensures you're both thoroughly prepared before bringing you together. The irony is that while you're focused on the third-party person in your twin flame's life, you're missing the true third party that matters. This divine mission you're meant to co-create. It's like being upset about not getting the lead role in the school play when you're actually being prepared to direct a Broadway production. I know what you're thinking. This spiritual perspective is all well and good, but I'm still hurting. What do I do about it? And that's a valid question. Spiritual understanding without practical application is just philosophical entertainment. The counterintuitive truth is that the most powerful action you can take is to focus on yourself rather than the third-party situation. As one twin flame teacher advises, the teachings of union show us that this healing journey is 90% inner work and only 10% outer actions. You really do have to heal the pattern within yourself before you will see any changes on the outside. This means recognizing that the third-party situation is showing you where you're choosing separation consciousness within yourself. Are you abandoning yourself in some way? Choosing fear over love? Believing you're not worthy of divine union? Instead of obsessing over your twin flame's relationship status, turn that energy inward. Use tools like meditation, journaling, energy healing, or whatever resonates with you to address the wounds being triggered. And here's the beautiful paradox. As you heal these patterns within yourself, you'll often witness miraculous shifts in your external reality, including your twin flame's circumstances. Not because you're manipulating them energetically, but because you're aligning with the truth of your connection. You want to know the cosmic joke in all of this? The third-party situation that's causing you so much pain is actually helping to create the conditions for your eventual union. It's like being furious at the personal trainer who's making your muscles burn, not realizing they're helping you build the strength you need. Eventually, the third-party karmic relationships will come to an end once the pattern is healed completely. So take this opportunity for yourself to really heal and see this lesson as a mirror and nothing more, and it will dissolve like dust, promises one twin flame teacher. And honestly, when you look back from the perspective of union, you might actually feel grateful for these challenges. So the next time you find yourself scrolling through your twin flame's social media at midnight, wondering how they could possibly be with someone else if they truly love you, remember this: what you're seeing is not the ultimate truth. It's a temporary illusion, a necessary step in your journey, and perhaps most importantly, a reflection of what's happening within you. The separation is an illusion. The love is real. And the journey, with all its twists and turns, is perfectly designed to lead you home, to yourself, to your twin flame, and to the divine mission you're here to fulfill together. And that, my friend, is a truth worth waiting for. You've tried everything, haven't you? The desperate texts at 2 a.m., the elaborate visualization exercises where you imagine your twin flame leaving their partner and running back to you, the obsessive social media stalking, the endless consultations with psychics promising they can bring your twin flame back. Maybe you've even attempted to make them jealous by posting your own carefully curated happiness online. And yet, here you are, still watching them build a life with someone else, while your heart feels like it's being put through a cosmic wood chipper. I get it, and I'm about to tell you something that might make you want to throw your phone across the room. The solution is to completely let go. I know. That's probably the last thing you want to hear right now. Let go? Are you kidding me? This is my twin flame we're talking about. My literal other half. My soul's divine counterpart. How am I supposed to just let go? Here's the mind-bending paradox of the twin flame journey. The tighter you hold on, the further away union becomes. The more desperately you chase, the faster they run. The more you try to make it happen, the more the universe seems to laugh at your plans. This surrender isn't about giving up on your connection. It's about surrendering your attachment to how and when union manifests. It's about releasing the death grip you have on the outcome and trusting in the divine timing of your journey. Think about it like this. Have you ever tried to remember someone's name, and the harder you tried, the more it eluded you? Then the moment you stopped trying, perhaps while washing dishes or taking a shower, the name suddenly popped into your mind. That's because your desperate grasping was actually blocking the natural flow of information. The same principle applies to twin flame union. But this is different, you might protest. This isn't just about remembering a name. This is about the love of my life being with someone else. I hear you. The stakes feel infinitely higher, but the universal principle remains the same. What you resist persists. What you chase runs away. What you surrender to transforms. Let's get a bit metaphysical for a moment. Don't worry, I'll keep it practical too. You see, you and your twin flame are constantly exchanging energy, whether you're physically together or not. Every thought you have about them every emotion you feel regarding their situation creates an energetic ripple that affects the dynamic between you. When you're obsessing over their relationship with someone else, desperately wishing things were different, you're actually sending out energy of lack, neediness, and separation. And guess what your twin flame feels when they receive that energy? Pressure, heaviness, an unconscious urge to create more distance. Your twin can feel your energy even from across the world. If you're sending energy of desperation and neediness, they'll feel suffocated and run further. If you're sending energy of peace and self-love, they'll feel drawn to that light. This isn't about manipulating them energetically. It's about creating a field of energy that supports union rather than repels it. And that begins with genuine surrender. Now, let's be clear about something. Surrender is not the same as giving up. It's not about deciding your twin flame journey is over or convincing yourself you don't care anymore. That's just another form of resistance, dressed up as acceptance. True surrender has a quality of peace to it. It's saying, I honor this connection and I trust its divine timing, even if that means we're not together right now or even in this lifetime. It's like the difference between white-knuckling your way through turbulence on a plane versus relaxing and trusting the pilot knows what they're doing. In both scenarios, you have zero control over the outcome, but your experience of the journey is vastly different. Here's where things get really interesting. When you truly surrender your attachment to the outcome of your twin flame journey, something magical happens. You create space for self-love to flourish. Think about how much mental and emotional energy you've been pouring into analyzing your twin flame's relationship, stalking their social media, and fantasizing about reunion. What if you redirected even half of that energy toward loving yourself? What might be possible then? Self-love isn't just about bubble baths and positive affirmations. It's about treating yourself with the same devotion, respect, and compassion that you're so eager to give your twin flame. It's about becoming the lover you've been seeking. Yes, you read that right. The secret to twin flame union isn't finding the perfect way to win them back. It's becoming so complete within yourself that union becomes a natural expression of your wholeness, rather than a desperate attempt to feel complete. As one spiritual teacher puts it, your twin flame isn't coming into your life to complete you. They're coming to reflect the completeness you've found within yourself. This is where most twin flame chasers get it backwards. They think, once I'm in union with my twin flame, then I'll feel whole and loved. But the universe operates in the opposite direction. Once you feel whole and loved within yourself, then you'll be in energetic alignment for union. So, what does this actually look like in practice? How do you surrender and cultivate self-love when your heart is breaking watching your twin flame with someone else? First, acknowledge the pain. Don't spiritual bypass your human emotions. It hurts to see someone you love deeply with another person. That pain is valid and real. Allow yourself to feel it fully. Cry, journal, scream into a pillow if you need to. Emotional release is essential, but then make a conscious choice not to dwell in that pain. As one twin flame who successfully navigated this challenge shared, I gave myself permission to feel sad for 20 minutes each day. I'd set a timer and fully immerse in all the grief and longing. but when the timer went off, I'd consciously shift my focus to my own life and growth. Next, create a self-love practice that feels authentic to you. This isn't about forcing yourself to recite affirmations you don't believe. It's about finding genuine ways to honor and cherish yourself. Maybe that means setting boundaries with people who drain your energy. Perhaps it's pursuing a passion you've neglected. It could be something as simple as preparing yourself a beautiful meal with the same care you'd give to cooking for a beloved. Here's what happens when you genuinely surrender and focus on self-love. Your energy shifts from needy to magnetic. Think about the people you're naturally drawn to. Are they the ones desperately seeking your approval and attention? Or are they the ones who are content within themselves, radiating a quiet confidence and joy? When you stop chasing your twin flame and start cherishing yourself, you become energetically irresistible, not in a manipulative law of attraction way, but in an authentic, I'm finally aligned with my true essence way. There's another element to surrender that's often overlooked: honoring divine timing. The twin flame journey operates on a cosmic timetable that rarely aligns with our human desires for immediate gratification. As one spiritual teacher beautifully explains, twin flame union isn't just about two people coming together. It's about two souls completing their individual healing journeys so they can fulfill a higher mission together. That healing can't be rushed. Your twin flame's relationship with someone else might be a necessary part of their healing journey. Perhaps they need to learn certain lessons that only that relationship can teach them. Maybe they need to work through karmic patterns before they're ready for the intensity of twin flame union. Surrendering means trusting that timing, even when it makes no sense to your human mind and breaks your human heart. Here's the wildest part of the surrender journey. Sometimes, when you truly let go and focus on loving yourself, you discover that what you actually needed wasn't twin flame union at all. What you needed was to find wholeness within yourself. I know that might sound like spiritual blasphemy in twin flame circles where union is often presented as the ultimate goal. But I've witnessed many people realize that their obsession with their twin flame was actually a distraction from their own growth and purpose. One woman was convinced she'd never be happy without her twin flame, who was married to someone else. After deeply committing to surrender and self-love, she had a profound realization. I was using my twin flame connection as an excuse to avoid living fully. As long as I could blame my unhappiness on not being with him, I didn't have to take responsibility for creating a life I loved.